So I was just sitting out here and I was looking at the garage there, and you know what would look great right there on our garage?
What?
A pallet flag.
I'm gonna make you one of those.
Yeah, you told me that like 10 years ago that you're gonna make me a pallet flag. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make my own pallet flag. The reason why is because Jaime's got this super cool CNC machine that can actually like engrave the stars into the wood.
Yeah.
And I think that would be really cool. He doesn't know it yet, but I might ask him. Is that okay? All right, so I just dropped the kids off at school and heading over to Jaime's to ask him about the CNC machine. But I thought, you know, it would be nice maybe to get him a nice cup of coffee. So I'm gonna find a nice place to get some coffee. There's a place here called Mountain Perks. They got some really good coffee, but they're a little pricey. There's also another place here called La Dolce Vita. I just redid that place. They got some really nice coffee in there too, but again, it's a little pricey. But you know what? I know the best place to get Jaime some coffee. I know where to go. There's the place. Jaimo's gonna love this coffee. Actually, I don't know how good their coffee is. I don't drink coffee, but you know what I'm saying? They got the best hot chocolate in town. So I'm gonna get him coffee here and me some hot chocolate.
It's Friday. Like, we don't work on Fridays.
I mean, can't a guy just bring his boss a cup of coffee?
Yeah, sure. That's nice of you, bud.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Wait a minute. What do you want from me?
Why do I need to want something? I just wanted to bring you a nice cup of coffee.
When do you ever show up and bring me coffee and just say, hey, you know, good morning?
All right, I do need something.
All right, what do you want?
So you know that pallet flag my wife was gonna make me?
Yeah, the one you've been talking about for like 10 years?
Yeah, that's the one exactly.
You're not making that thing. You're never gonna make that thing.
So she's not gonna make it. So I figured I'm just gonna go ahead and make it. And I talked to her last night about it, but this is where you come in.
Yep.
I'm thinking that maybe if I lay it all out, maybe we can do the stars on the CNC machine.
Okay, well, I hope you got the proportions like correct.
I don't have anything.
You know, for the American flag?
No, I don't have
You can't
anything.
just randomly just like, oh, I'm gonna do it like this, you know.
That's again where you come in.
Stars, stripes, there's a certain number of them. Did you know that?
I did 13.
Yeah, right.
So we're gonna use you, and we're gonna use this cool computer setup you have.
Okay.
And I thought maybe we could design it, and then I can go home and get the palette ready, and then we'll come back and we'll zip up the stars.
All right. Before you bring your pallet in here, you got to know we have some limitations.
Okay.
'Cause I don't know how crazy this thing is going to be, but this machine can handle 4 feet square, 4 feet by 4 feet.
Okay.
So don't make it bigger than that.
No, it
Because
won't
some
be.
pallets are like huge. Also, we've got, well, this shows less, but about 5 inches of clearance here under the machine.
Thickness.
The thickness. So
of
if
the
it's
palette.
more than 5 inches, you're going to have to like take the bottom slats off.
Okay.
And then you can put them back on if you want. But otherwise,
Ain't gonna work.
no go.
Okay. So no bigger than 4x4, and it can't be thicker than 5 inches.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, I've been doing a little research already. Hey, look, I think some of these presets right here,
Dude, I don't even know if this is a good idea. How long have you been using this program?
not long.
It looks like it. Oh gosh. Maybe I should just have Steph
There we
make
go.
Have Steph
All right.
make it for me. Dude,
Well,
that
look at
looks
that.
banging.
No, it doesn't.
Why?
Look at the star. It's not even a real star.
What do you mean?
It's
That's a star to me.
It's bulged out. It's not even a straight line.
Gosh,
Dude,
this
we
is
can't
gonna-
use that.
This is probably gonna be my worst.
Dude, we're gonna have to
nightmare.
go total scratch. We're gonna have to. Well, here's the star. Actually, this is kind of chintzy, but I can bring it. What? Dude, that's not right either. Look, it's angled. Anybody could see that.
All right.
Can you see that?
All right, so what's going to happen is that we're going to have to do some legwork on our end. Jamie's obviously going to be doing this because he's a perfectionist. So I'm going to get the palette ready. He's going to do some legwork on his end on this side, figuring out what stars we're going to use, and then we're going to put this thing together.
Do you think starfish would work? You know, I just thought of something terrible.
What's that?
Well, you're going to paint the stripes.
Yeah.
And then we're going to carve the stars.
Yeah.
I'm going to use this V-bit right here. It's called V-bit.
Okay.
Right, but I was just thinking, what if, where this is going to carve a star, what if there's like a nail in the way? Because we're going to carve
There's going to be a nail.
50 stars,
There's going to be a nail.
and you're using a pallet. There's nails all in it.
Yeah.
So what we have to do is cut a template. We'll have to cut like a little prototype piece out of something like a piece
And
of
lay
plywood.
it on it?
Stick it on there like a thin piece of plywood so it cuts all the way through. And then we can lay it on there and maybe actually trace the stars onto your actual piece just to see if any nails are in the way. We got to pull the nails.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so complicated.
I mean, if you ream my little bit out in a nail, then, well, there goes my bit.
Oh crap.
Jason was able to find a pretty helpful website to figure out the correct measurements for the flag based on how big he wanted it. I've included the link in the description if you'd like to check it out. It tells you the correct dimensions of the flag, stripes, and stars, so it's extremely helpful for anyone else doing this project. And just like any project that starts, he needed to clean up the shop just to mess it up again so that he would have something to clean up before the next project.
Just to let you know, I got a new light from Hyperlite. I want to thank them for this shop light. Super bright. It's almost actually too bright for my little shop, but would be great for a larger shop or a warehouse. But we're gonna rock that thing and give me some good light so I can work on my project here. So I guess what I need to do now is I need to find the dimensions I'm gonna go with. So I either got to figure out what my width is gonna be or what my length is gonna be. Once I establish that, I can stick it in my calculator downstairs and I can get the other dimension, and then we can work from there. So let me get the tape out, start pulling some numbers, and see what we can come up with. Looking at my pallet here, and it looks like I'm measuring about 48 inches. So I want to keep it as big as possible. So if I keep the length of it 48 inches, the height of it, or the width of it, is going to be 25 and 3/16. I went downstairs, I put that in the calculator, and it comes out that if it's 48, it's 25 and 3/16 wide. So each of these slats measure 5 and 3/8 or so. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I can do is I can just pull this thing apart, take all these off the front, and then what I'll do is I'll rip them down to like 5 long, and then I'll put them all back together, but I'll put them all spaced tight. If there's a gap here, when it goes into the CNC machine and where the stars line up, the star might fall into a gap and it's gonna look stupid. So even though it won't look exactly like a pallet when it's done, it'll be pallet wood, but it'll look good. It'll look like a flag. So
Now it was time for the real work to begin. Jason got all the slats off and ripped them down to size so that he would have the correct height for his flag.
So there she is, 48, 25 and 3/16. So that's gonna be the size, but obviously once I get this in, I'm gonna cut all that off flush with the top. But that's gonna be the look of it. So I went ahead and printed out my dimensions here. So it shows the dimensions of where the stars are gonna go. That's C and D. So C, 19 and 3/16, which I measured down here, and then 19 and 3/16 is which I measured here. So this is where the stars are gonna go. And like Jamie mentioned, I don't want any nails in there just because I don't want the CNC machine to hit any nails. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a punch and get rid of any nails that are in there and in there so that it doesn't hit. And then once I get it attached, and when we go through the CNC machine, I can go back in after the fact and I can put some extra nails in if I need to hold it in place. So, well, I just painted all this and I didn't time lapse it. I forgot to hit the play button. That's what sucks by working by yourself. But I know Jones at his house doing some work on his cabinets. They didn't really need my help for, so I thought I'd start on this project. So what's next is to let this dry, and I'll go ahead and get the pickets back onto the base itself where they need to go, and then I'll get a nice couple solid coats of the white poly on that so that everything is white. And then I need to go ahead and paint the stripes on there. So we need to get to the store and we need to get some Old Glory red and Old Glory blue. I'm hoping Lowe's sells that, or we can find a color similar to that so that it looks like a flag.
So Jason put the slats back on with the finish gun and put on a coat of the white poly.
I made sure when I took the boards off yesterday that I labeled them to make sure that they went back on in the same fashion and that all the nail lines still lined up. I am not filling any holes. I am not sanding anything. I want this thing to look super cool, but I also still want to look like a pallet. I don't want to look like a perfectly flat piece of plywood up there. So you're gonna see some gaps in there. You're gonna see some chunks missing out of it. I want it to look like a pallet. So I did shoot right down that line, but I did not shoot out here in the field where the stars are gonna go, because again, I don't want Jamie's CNC machine to hit it. Gonna need a couple more coats of poly. I'm gonna go grab the wife right now. We're gonna run to Lowe's and see if we can grab that Old Glory red and Old Glory blue, then tape it off, paint the red, paint the blue, and get ready to go to Jamie's. All right, so we just got our paint, got our Old Glory red, and they did not have Old Glory blue, so we had to match it. So I went outside and got a flag and just matched the color so that it would be the same. So I think we're almost done. Let me go find Steph and see where she's at. What are you doing? We don't need lights. What are you looking at lights for?
That's what you think.
What do you mean that's what I think?
Next project, baby.
You already have a project in mind?
Oh, this one's been in the works for a while.
Oh gosh.
More projects. I guess that means more videos. Jason then measured off where the stripes were going to go, along with the area for the stars, and taped it off before he painted it so that he could take it over to Jaime's.
So I got one coat on there. I'll probably do another coat, maybe 2 more coats on that. And once that's done, then we'll pull the tape up. I'll tape off for the blue. I'll paint the blue. And then we'll go ahead and have Jaime ready for that CNC machine to get them stars drilled in there.
Ripping off the tape was next, and the stripes turned out amazing. Next was the area for the stars and letting that dry before it was time to go back to Jaime's and load that thing up in a CNC.
I mean, it almost looks like the real thing that you're making.
That is the real thing I'm making.
It is? I thought we were just going to do a big test cut.
No, that's
and then you'll bring the real one later.
You got one shot, bro.
I'm impressed that this is all to scale and stuff. Or it seems like it is.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
It is to scale. Exact width, height, blue, everything.
All right, well, we'll see how it goes. We did not.
Dude, you're like Eminem. You got one shot, one chance.
Did not do a test cut.
No.
So, and let's just hope the internet doesn't cut out. Because this thing runs off the internet. And if it cuts out, dude, this thing will just freestyle. It'll just do whatever it wants.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
I'm nervous.
Me too. I mean, I'm not. Oh, gosh. We can't do it upside down.
Why?
Because all the stars will be upside down.
Feet upside down.
The star's upside down. The point's going to be on the bottom.
Well, I thought, because the design is symmetrical, that we can just flip the flag over upside down, and because I wanted to use the most clear 0 point to get the bit 0. This point right here is really nice, because that spot over there, it's like split, and there's a nail hole right where the 0 point is. So I was like, we can't use that.
We're doing this.
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, just put it all in there and smear it in there, pack it in. Well, what we did is we actually rotated the design 180 degrees. We spun the design, so now the top of the flag is the bottom of the design, and the top of the flag is facing us upside down. So, my fault, but I think it'll work now. We gotta fill this hole though, and now I've deleted the star that we already carved incorrectly. By the time all the other stars are carved, I think the rock hard putty will be set up. We'll sand it real fast. We'll re-input that missing star. We'll hit go again, and it'll carve the 1 star through the putty and hopefully not make it look like a mess.
Having a machine like this is pretty awesome. I'd like to see Jason try this by hand. And the star we had to fix turned out just fine after we filled it with some wood filler and let the machine do its job.
Looking good. So all I gotta do now is I'm gonna go home and I don't know if you can see, but so where it cut through that paint, there's some little stickies thingies. The paint didn't cure all the way, I guess. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna sand it down. I'm gonna take a small paintbrush. I'm gonna paint inside the holes all white. And then I'll just take a dry roller with some blue on it and just do the blue, roll over the blue again. And I think it should be good to go. And then I got some Halcyon from Total Boat. It's a Halcyon finish that I'm gonna put over the top of that. That's gonna seal it up nice and she'll be ready to hang. You coming over?
I got stuff to do.
Shocker.
So Jason filled in all the stars with white and recruited Stephanie to help before he lightly rolled the blue again.
The last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna protect this thing. So we're gonna put some Total Boat Halcyon clear satin varnish on it. I've never used this stuff, but Jaime Perkins and Johnny Brooks swear by it. They say it's the best stuff on the market. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna protect it from the sun and protect the wood being outside. So thanks to Total Boat for hooking me up with this Halcyon varnish, and we're gonna put a couple coats of that on and she will be done.
Total Boat's products are amazing. We use this stuff on the counters at the Modern Mountain Getaway on the Perkins Builder Brothers channel, and I will be using their epoxy and Halcyon finish on my countertops in a couple weeks.
Hey, what you doing?
Oh, just admiring this beautiful pallet flag that you made me.
That looks awesome.
Yeah.
I did a really good job, didn't I?
You did a fantastic job.
It looks great. All right, let's hang this sucker up.
All right, we got one problem though.
What?
So, remember when I told you I was gonna hang it out here?
Yeah.
Well, I noticed one thing. The window doesn't center over the garage doors. So if I put the flag there over the garage doors, it's not gonna be on the window. And if I put it under the window, it's not gonna be centered over the garage doors. And I think that's gonna look stupid. Yeah. You got any other ideas where we could put it?
I think so.
All right, show me.
All right, come with me.
I think that's a good spot for it.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot for now. I mean, once my tree house is done, I think it'll look better on that.
What? I'm sorry, your tree house? Oh gosh.